was so iconic, like a classic, I feel like Grey's episode of high stakes medical and personal stuff getting resolved. And I think it was particularly emotional.
Everybody is so excited because I saw on your Instagram yesterday that you revealed that you are returning to Grey's in May. Yeah. I cannot wait. So what can you tease about it?
Oh, well, I don't know if I was on in in the first couple. So it's a continuation. It's sort of finishing up this medical storyline and that we started, a few months back. And then of course I've got some more great scenes with Meredith Grey and with Richard and and Kat. It's been really, really fun. It's so nice to be back and get to play some more with them. And it's a really great storyline. It's a great medical storyline, but also kind of the great personal stuff. I was super excited to have some juicy scenes with Jim Pickens and Debbie Allen and everybody.
Definitely. I know you said this is kind of wrapping up the storyline, so probably not a more permanent role, maybe?
Yeah, no, not right now anyway. But I love visiting. It's been a delight to be able to do that this season. I'm super stoked that there are going to be, at the end of this, they'll have 400 episodes, and then they've got, of course, season 19. So it's an exciting time for Grey's and for fans.
Definitely. If they did want you to come back in a more permanent role, would you?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I live so far away now, but who knows? Anything's possible.
Definitely. I mean, I know you've talked about it, but what was it like stepping back into Addison's shoes back in, February when you did the show?
It's like slipping into, it's like being a little salmon in the stream. You're like, oh, here I am, I'm back in. And it was very emotional when I first went back. Like, it was just so surreal. Think about going back home and going back to a job that I started and a job that changed my life in amazing ways in my career so long ago. So I felt really, really grateful to not only be able to have just the whole incarnation of Grey's and then private practice, but then thinking, okay, I'm done. And then actually to go, okay, let's go. And they're still going. And it's been an honor to be a part of such a legacy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so rare. I think now you would never, that just doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
It's a rarity,
Yeah. I know in that elevator scene between you and Meredith and when you were, overcome with emotion about Derek, I mean, were those like real tears? Because like you said, it was so emotional. It's got to be like,
it was definitely not my Sustained Complete Preservative Free eye drops. No, it wasn't. Those were real tears. Yeah, it's funny. It's so well written, and my good friend Jamie Dembo had actually written that episode, which is like a friend of mine from comedy days in New York and LA, and she's a great comedic actress and writer. But she actually randomly I was like, oh my God, now you're writing on Grey's, and wrote that episode, which I just loved. It was so iconic, like a classic, I feel like, Grey's episode of high stakes medical and personal stuff getting resolved. And I think it was particularly emotional going back and seeing, where Meredith is, where Kat is, where Amelia, where they've all landed, and particularly post death of Derek and everything. So it was really very powerful.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, how long do you think the show could go on for? I mean, it could go on forever.
I mean, who knows, Season 19, it'll go for 20. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, were you and Chandra kind of going back and forth a lot about returning to the show, or was this something that she was just want to do it? You want to come on?
I don't know. She may have been behind it, but it was, it was a question I got asked like literally in every interview. But Krista Vernoff and I had been talking, who runs Grey's now, and she was there since the beginning, has gone back and forth and creating her own shows, and she's incredible. And she had spoken to me pre-pandemic. We were talking about trying to do something, but our schedules weren't sort of abiding, and then it just worked out.
So I want to talk to you all about your partnership with Sustain. So why did you decide to do this, and why was this the right fit for you?
Well, I actually suffer from dry eyes, which I didn't know until I literally thought I was losing my eyesight, even after, years of wearing contacts and then having LASIK and many, many years ago. And I thought, oh my gosh, my vision was getting blurry. And I've always worked with Alcon, which is the brand behind Sustain Complete, and for wetting drops and saline solution for when I was a contact lens wearer. So, but when I went to the optometrist, they're like, you have 20/20 vision. You just have a symptom called dry eyes. And I'm like, well, what do I do? And saline. He's like, no, there's different things that you can take. So I was super excited when Sustain approached me to partner with them, because it's an easy fit, and particularly with Sustain Complete preservative-free lubricating eye drops, because it's literally one drop in the eye. It's a super easy application system where it literally allows just one drop to go at. Oh, Pablo's still here. Hi, bud. So that was a no-brainer for me. And for particularly, I think everybody in between the last couple of years, particularly with all of the devices and screens that our eyes are really kind of tested, but also in my line of work and also with traveling, everything is almost there to dehydrate your eyes. And what I like about Sustain Complete is that it's twofold. It hydrates, but also puts a protective barrier on that lasts for 8 hours. So I don't have to constantly be, using the solution. It's one drop each eye and done, one and done. And it's great. And I think I really think it's important. I think it's in terms of aging and women and all the things that we sort of go through, that this is a really critical thing to understand, that there is something out there that's very effective and safe. And I love that it's preservative free. And it just so happens, twice as many women than men suffer from dry eyes. So it's awesome to have this awesome new product.